Doing well.
Been a long day today, from having the opportunity to get up early this morning and get into the film with the players and go with that from 8 to 10, and then to get out on the field and walk through, and then get them in the weight room to try and flush your bodies a little bit, as we're kind of in the heat of camp right now. We're in the middle of camp, and then to have the opportunity to come out here this afternoon and get a good shorts workout in. I really like the way they're working, the attitude. I know they're sore and beat up. This is what everybody considers a dog day when you start to get in the middle of two-a-days, and the beginning of camp is no longer the emotion of the beginning of camp, and the end of camp is not in sight yet, and that they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So these are the dog days, but I really like the attitude and the way they're coming out here working. We have sat down and met with a lot of the players at this point. We still have a couple meetings to go. But there's a little bit of jostling that's going along on the depth chart right now, and as soon as we meet with all the players, then I will release that. I was trying to hope to get it done this afternoon, but I have a team meeting tonight, and I'll definitely have it out by tomorrow morning, because I'll be able to meet with everybody after we had a chance to meet this morning and then meet as a staff, and then I met with a bunch of them during practice today. So I will get that out as soon as we can. But like I said, right now I'm really excited about the competition that's going on right now in this football team. Injury-wise, the two concerns coming out of it that were x-rays, when we first left, it was really only Bradley Battles with his ankle, but Ruben Gonzalez, who also needed to have his wrist x-rayed, and he ended up, both of those came back negative. So both of those I would expect back probably within about a week or so, which was great news, because you've got a guy like Bradley, as well as he was playing. You hated to see that possibly be a surgical procedure that he would miss the season for. So great news coming out on the injury front, and then we just got to keep getting healthy and keep pushing through these dog days.
Skip, as many D linemen as you had sitting out yesterday, it seemed like almost all of them were out of practice today.
Yeah, I mean, there were, I believe, 5 of the top 8 defensive linemen didn't go through the scrimmage yesterday. When you talk about Corey Grissom was out, Elkina Watson missed most of it, but was back out here today for practice. And then you had Todd Chandler, who's been out for a couple days. He was back out here today, and hopefully they'll just continue to progress. And then at the defensive end, Mims did end up going through, although Aaron Lynch wasn't able to go as much, in Juju Forte. So when you look at it, having 5 of your top 8 out of the lineup makes it pretty difficult, to put a defense together. But I still think it was a great opportunity for our secondary to fit their run fits, and for them to also, where there wasn't a lot of pressure on the quarterback, where they had to sit back there and cover for a little bit. So I think it was a great opportunity for us as a team to get better, and when these guys get back, it's only going to make us stronger. But as I said, every one of the defensive linemen at this point is going to be back by the first game. I mean, I think that's when we need to start talking about injuries, not the nicks and knacks where a guy day in and day out what happens, but every one of them should be back.
I don't know if you go ahead.
Well,
I don't know if you talked to the quarterbacks yet, but it looked like Floyd was getting a good deal more reps today as the top backup.
Yeah, he did, and coming out of it, I mean, I thought Matt had the better scrimmage yesterday. I think, as I've said before, those two have gone back and forth, where every day you'd walk off the field and say, today I give it to Bobby, today I give it to Matt, today I give it to Bobby, and they've gone just back and forth. But when you look at what Matt did in the scrimmage, that's all we have to go on, and we keep saying that the jobs are going to be determined on the field, and all I can do is put them in game-like situations and make the evaluations on whoever does the best in that situation. And as tight as that is, and as nick and tuck as that is gone, it may very well change when we get to next Saturday, predicated on how Matt Floyd plays. But right now, Matt would be the 2.
When you looked at the tape last night, you talked about the secondary before. How did you feel like the secondary performed?
I felt like Kayvon Webster played really well. I think at safeties, guys like Jaquez Jenkins and Mark Joyce played really well for us. Still a little bit concerned about that other field corner and who's going to hold that spot down, and this is some of the holes that we're looking for right now. But I think we got some guys that are playing really well. We've got a lot of talent there when you look at George Baker and Ken Durden and Bivens and Fidel Montgomery and Josh Brown, and you start going through the names. We have more talent than we've ever had there to choose from who that guy's going to be. But at this point, I don't feel like anybody's just really stepped up and taken it over.